Absolutely. So hi Susanna.
Yeah.
It's so nice to get this opportunity to sit and chat with you in such a beautiful setting.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see in the camera, but there's a lovely lake behind us. We're sitting under this beautiful willows blowing. I mean, it may cause a little bit of noise for you guys, but I thought, hey, it was worth it, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit of technical drama going on there with the sound, but I hope you can hear us. We'll try to keep our voices up and we'll try to remind each other. But rather than me introduce what you do here at the Life Co, I think it's always better coming from the mouth, not the you, of course. But before I go, that's a beautiful ring.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I like it very much. It's a dragon, and I found it here. There is a jewelry designer, and there is a shop here that sells crystals, big crystals, and precious stones, and jewelry.
I love that ring. Very
There
nice
is,
tattoos.
yeah,
Also.
these are the sakyans, sacred tattoos from Thailand, made by monks, and
Yeah.
Rusi. Rusi is the Thai word that describes, that indicates the mystic. And these are done by mystics. They pray, they bless the tattoos, they call the spirits.
It really suits. I mean, it looks very balanced. It looks really balanced. You know, it looks very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very nice. So, yeah, tell me what do you do? What is it that you focus on? But maybe even before that, where did you learn it? And
Okay, so let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm originally from Italy, but then I moved here 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago actually. And I've been interested in techniques that can help us and support us to become the better version of ourselves. And I support people in adopting a different and a more effective breathing technique to learn how to breathe better. And this will have many results on the physical level, our mind levels, emotional level, and spiritual level, whatever the word spiritual means to you. Either if you have a religious belief or philosophical belief, or even if you haven't, you will feel more connected with the source, being that source a god or a goddess, or yourself. And there are many practices that has the breath as a main tool. I'm thinking, for example, of vibration, holotropic breath, transformational breathing, tantric breathing, and then there is rebirthing breathwork, which is the one that I share.
Okay, so what is rebirthing breathwork?
Well, rebirthing, the name has been in a way created by Leonard Orr, who is considered the father of the modern breathing movement. And he named this rebirthing because the first time that he had this experience, and he knew nothing about that. So that was a sort of a, let's say, coincidence. He lived the experience, like he was able to remember what happened when he was born. That's why he called this rebirth.
Through breathing?
Through breathing, he was able to go back to the moment of his birth.
Was he experimenting with breathing, or he just happened to breathe a certain way?
Let's say that, like from what we know, he started breathing in a particular way. Okay. He was in his bathtub.
Because it made him feel better, or
well, he made him going back to the moment of his birth. Okay. So he could remember. He did remember his physical feelings, his memories. He was able to remember everything. And then, of course, he said, "What is this?" And he started experimenting. And then after a few months, he was able to finally understand that the catalyst or the trigger for the experience, that action that makes us, in a way, able to go back, to relive those moments and to process them, to let go what we no longer need and to integrate what we need, is the breath.
Right, fantastic. And I mean, I studied Hapkido from the time that I was 6 years old all the way up till, probably around 30, 35, I was still practicing. I traveled quite extensively with many masters, etc. And I got to a pretty high level. Once we start with Tanjong breathing is the first exercise we get as a white belt when we start Hapkido. And it's funny because everybody thinks martial arts is just punching and kicking and shouting and throwing and fighting. And actually we start with breath. And then we start, and also meditation. And it's always going back to that. But and what a lot of even Hapkido practitioners don't know, that when we get to black belt, we start advanced breathing.
Yes.
And I learned some of these through our Grandmaster Jihan Jay in San Francisco, actually, was the founder of that art. And he's Korean. Obviously, these techniques are thousands of years old. But he talked a lot about the incredible power that it activates within our body, in our chi, in our connection, like you said, in our oneness, and harnessing all those energies into whatever we would like to achieve, whether it be calm or to impact upon an opponent, which is what martial arts was about. But mainly, it's a defensive kind of thing, and it's all about improving the self, like you said. But also recently, I understand there's a lot more coming out when we breathe in properly than we know. And so the funny thing is, so for example, an interesting one is that I heard when we lose weight, we're not urinating the fat, right? It's not going back into the universe out of our hair. We're not defecating it either. Tell us what's going on there, because it's chemical. It's just chemical reaction. It's scientifically proven, and it's probably been known for a long time before. But I think people are more concerned about fat now, and scientists actually, tie you up and see exactly what's going on, monitor, and it's all about carbon, right? With the fat loss, and then we can talk about the toxins as well.
Yeah. Well, so many things to say. I'm very excited.
Sorry, I go on.
Things.
You got it. Like,
it's okay.
I have a confession. So I do have an Italian passport. My ancestors are Italian, so I cut in.
So we can start using the hands. Okay. So let's say that we eliminate toxins through defecation, urination, and sweating, as you mentioned. Like only 20% of those toxins. Let's say 20 or 25%.
I'm going to say that again.
I say
20
to
25% of our toxins. So just going to the toilet is not going to clean me. How else do I get out of it? Or does it stay on me?
No. Luckily, no. The remaining 80%, 75-80%, we eliminate them through our breath.
Wow.
Both physical toxins and emotional toxins.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And I use the word toxins. Well, let's say whatever we no longer need.
Yeah. What we want to get rid of.
And I can give you a very simple example. When we are maybe upset or disappointed, we are talking to someone, and there is this. What we do is,
the body knows it needs to get rid of it.
The body knows, and then we let go the frustration. And this is emotional. But there's also the physical. We eliminate through, as I said, through our skin, through our
perspiration.
Perspiration. As I said,
even if I sat in the sauna for 10 hours, I'm getting rid of a lot, which is fantastic. And there's a certain type of toxin also. So certain toxins come out that way. But still, when we talk on the grand scheme of things, the breath is the key.
Yeah. Like before anything else, there is the breath.
Isn't that great? It's funny that it's not funny. I mean, you come to see that a lot of these proverbs or sayings have so much truth, fundamental grounding that we don't really. I mean, everybody's heard the breath is the first, right? Another thing is the fountain of youth is actually water, right?
It is
because with the body with the water, right?
Well, if we can survive 30 days without eating, in a detox center especially.
I'm on, guys. You see, I'm quite energetic. This is my day 8.
Oh yeah.
And I'm on
like
fire.
Water fasting.
Yeah, water only. I'm on fire. I've been doing it for quite some years, but never 8 days. And I've got to say, I've done 4 days, and I knew on the third I start to go, whoa, give me something to do. Let me pick up the biggest brick in around. But yesterday, since day 6, 7, 8, I'm insane. And it's fantastic, which is now I think, and it's a shame I hadn't spoken to you earlier because I've been busy with some things, but while I'm detoxifying, my body is in such an incredible rejuvenating state.
Yes.
To capitalize on it with some great techniques on how to get rid of the rest of the toxins.
Well, I can share some techniques with you later, so you can adopt them and integrate them in your practice.
I really want to. But sorry, I cut you off again.
Okay. Okay, we can survive 30 days without eating.
30, yep.
3 days.
I don't believe it. I know it.
Yeah.
And this is a funny thing. I think a lot of people watching, they don't believe it. They're far from knowing it, but it's just the truth.
Just try it.
Some people have done 41 days
Yes.
Terminally ill cancer patients with 1-2 months to live, 41 days, then go on to diet, come back or go back to their oncologist, get what the hell? What? No. What? Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. And then 3 days without drinking.
Yeah.
Let's say 1 day.
So the dry fast we could do 3 days.
Yeah.
Because that's
and
the
then
crazy
our
one.
body needs water.
Yeah.
Like life needs water to happen. And then we can survive, let's say 1 day / 1 day and a half without sleeping.
Yeah.
But we cannot survive more than 3 minutes without breathing. There are some exceptions, like for example, apnea divers, scuba divers, people like highly trained people, like for example, those yogis. They can survive like longer without breathing. But then, even I think is a Turkish woman. She's the apnea diver, free diver, world champion.
Yes.
She can survive, she can hold her breath for almost 20 minutes. Oh, I think, but she has to breathe anyway. So, that's why I say before anything else, there is the breath.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen when we breathe. We change our chemicals in the blood. We have the capacity to shift, so our brain has the capacity to shift from the sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is supposed to give us well-being and relaxation. When we are in the sympathetic nervous system, that is the fight or flight mode, survival, adrenaline, cortisol, stress.
Ready to pounce.
The parasympathetic nervous system is endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And so we can feel more relaxed and more things can happen. And I've seen incredible things happening to people when they're breathing, when they're doing these specific techniques. All of them work. I'm not saying that my technique is better than, because all of them work.
I gotta say, of course, when the basics of meditation or calming down, basically, actually, everyone says, hey, stop, take a breath. Right?
Yes.
I mean, and we know that. Like when you're angry, if you sit there and just count 8 breaths, it's almost impossible to stay it. The question is to remind yourself, because sometimes it's not automatic for us, especially in that state. You have to be mindful and think, I'm going to take that moment.
Yeah, we see this in many movies.
Yeah.
Like when they are getting nervous and they say, okay, let's all take a deep breath.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when we hold our breath, that is an action, that is the consequence of a state of fear, basically. We hold our breath, that is the freeze state.
Tense.
Yeah, it's tension. A lot of people, they hold their breath. And this is something that happens and it goes undetected because we hold our breath. Let's say that there is an unexpected event. We see something unexpected.
I mean, it's funny, and also sometimes people don't realize how obvious it is also.
Yes.
I have to say, I'll give another little nugget. Everybody in Sydney always knew. Some of my London friends know I was also in personal protection. I was a bodyguard.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we learned very early on, I had an incredible teacher. He said, watch for the person who stops breathing.
Yes.
That's a very dangerous person in certain situations, because sometimes we had to take people to court or something. We weren't armed, and even husband and wife battles and sort of things.
Sure.
You don't know what the other person looks like. So always watch if someone stops breathing. It's not like someone's going to start sweating and look angry. It's the one that stops breathing could be a problem. Maybe it's not.
Because something's happening.
It's a red flag.
Exactly. Something's happening. And and these actions or a non-effective breathing style can lead to many unpleasant situations, both on the body and on the emotional level. Like my story, for example, if I can share a little bit of my story.
Please.
Many years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Whoa, okay.
And when I knew about that, of course, my reaction was,
stop. Yeah.
Okay, no more.
Hey, I think mine just was too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I learned, because thanks to a friend, she said, okay, let's go there. There is a breathing session. Maybe you will learn something. You will be more relaxed. And I was unprepared to what happened. And because that was like, that rocked my world, that it changed my mindset completely. And I was able to understand that, of course, that disease was the combination and the ultimate and the final result of many things.
Previous lifestyles.
Thoughts and beliefs.
Yeah.
I really believe that everything starts from the spiritual level, and then it becomes real on the body.
Yeah.
So I was able to change all this. It took me a few years, of course, but it's been an incredible journey.
So your recovery started with the breath.
Yes, I'm in remission since 2006.
Yeah.
And of course, as I always say, you don't have to reach the point I reached to understand how breathwork can be useful.
Yeah.
No, it's not just useful.
I think your point that you just said is
life-changing. Yeah.
You know, Dr. Lottie said the same thing. He said people always have to reach a wall. They have to hit, either it's cancer or it's diabetes or it's a real shock before they say, okay, let's learn. And this is a big shame because whether you're 19, whether you're 99, right now you know that you can take control of your life. You can make certain changes. One of the things I wanted to touch on, I mean, which you also said was very funny. I'm going to share it with you right now because it's relevant. He's, you know, a lot of people think cancer, diabetes, all sorts of other chronic illnesses run in their family, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things he said was, you know, it's more about the behaviors. And also behaviors can be the mental behaviors, your thoughts, the ways, because we all teach each other how to be. So if we're not breathing the right way, we're not thinking the right way, we're not eating the right way, that's what's running in the family, right?
That has a consequence on the behaviors.
It's not the genes, it's that. And for example, so he said the only thing that runs in his family is pasta, sausages.
I am Italian too, so we have pasta, pizza, and bread in our DNA.
He said, if I run with that, it runs in my family.
Yeah.
But in reality, genetically, it doesn't. So even learning how to control your breath, learning how to control your thoughts, learning how to control your lifestyle, your diet, at an early age or at any point, that's the powerful point.
Yeah, it's very powerful. And I have to say it, well, I feel that I need to say it because I'm not a doctor. So I share those information, and I'm not a doctor, so of course I cannot say, oh, you're sick, but do this and do that, because of course I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that now also science is starting, doctors and scientists, they start to realize how important, how life-changing an effective breathing practice might be.
No, I mean, I think we were talking about it previously.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that all these things are actually being scientifically proven now, because for so many, when you grow up in martial arts, we grow up with this. We're told it, but we kind of semi-know it, we believe it, right?
Yeah.
So we're believers. It's like believing in Santa Claus. But when you know it, now the good thing is, unfortunately, it takes a lot of people to have scientists prove things before they believe that they know something.
Yeah.
But luckily, this is being proven now. So many techniques, so many of these concepts, so many things that are covered, and the treatments that are given here at this center are becoming to be scientifically proven on a mass scale, where it's, okay, we're not going to fight it anymore, right?
Yeah, I have something to say about that because I'm very excited every time I can share this. There is a study, and you can read the article because it's published on the Harvard Medical School website. Yeah. So it's Harvard.
Yeah.
It's not fluffy.
No one's going to try to debunk it tomorrow, and then call you a loony.
And these two teams, medical teams, they made an extensive research, and they found out that the deep relaxation that follows a deep breathing practice is able to produce significant changes in the DNA expression of the genes involved in inflammations. For example, diabetes and insulin production, immune system functioning, energy metabolism and metabolism in itself. Yeah. So the way we change our breath, and for the better, of course, is the way that we can change our physical conditions. And then there is another study, but it's other medical teams. They measured the cortisol content in the saliva of people.
Yes.
And cortisol gives us the idea of how much stress,
Yes.
the level of cortisol
Yeah.
tells us how much stress we are in.
Yeah.
And they measured the cortisol content in the saliva before and after a breathing
Of the
practice.
same person. Yeah.
Yes. Before, there was a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
After, the level was down to 0 in 2 hours. 2 hours.
And is it sustainable?
Yeah. It's something happens.
We all carry so much stress we're not even aware of. We're just used to it.
Yeah.
And we think, no, this is normal. When you're almost about to have a heart attack, you're like, oh, I feel stressed. But you're actually carrying it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And even those low levels have effects on us. So we
Yeah.
should be trying to minimize our stress.
Yeah, stress.
Even when we don't feel it.
Exactly.
Not only when we feel it, right?
Yeah, well, stress is a big word that can describe
means a lot of
many
things.
situations.
Yeah.
It means a lot of things. I can be stressed for something because of something, and you look at me and you say, why are you stressed? Because the meaning is different.
Yeah.
What is important is that we have ways, we have tools to get rid of that stress. It requires, of course, our collaboration.
Just not drinking.
Yeah, definitely. Or maybe green juices. Maybe green juices. Yeah, that is allowed. And an effective breathing practice. There are many techniques, and they all work, of course, because they create a change in the body. I believe 100% in the practice that I share, rebirthing breathwork, because I've seen outstanding results in, like, for me, that worked for me, and of course for other people.
Yeah. It's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to go quite deep. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Because I'm sure everybody wants to know a little bit more about this.
Yeah, well, it works.
You owe me to that one.
Well, it works. It's easy. It's a tool that we have with us.
It's not a secret.
No, it's not a secret. It's the best kept secret because it's visible, you know. Yeah. And we have this tool. It's been with us since the first moment we came to this planet to the very last when we leave.
Our last breath.
And and we start another journey. And it's basically a particular breathing. It's called mouth breathing or circular connected breathing. So it's not through the nose, it's through the mouth.
Yes.
Inhaling and exhaling through the mouth without any break between inhaling and exhaling. And the only reason why we ask to keep the mouth open is so we can take more oxygen in and, of course, more carbon dioxide out.
This goes against everything I've been taught to breathe. I mean, not in Hapkido, but I mean, in general.
There are many other practices that they, in a way, they say no mouth breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, I'm not asking you to keep doing every day, every minute of your life. That would be quite embarrassing. But it's just for a limited amount of time. So there is a physical, not transformation, a process that starts. We start a process, and also there is what we call emotional release. And after a breathing session, you could ask around people.
I got told that. I've been told that I have to come in. How long does this session go for?
Well, my session, let's say this, my sessions are 2 hours long. Because
2 hours of breathing. Okay. And
well, you are supposed to do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? But, you know, I think a lot of people, but will I come out relaxed or exhausted? Because there are some breathing techniques that are quite intense, right?
Yeah.
So when I hear 2 hours of breathing, I'm like, I don't know if I've got the strength for it.
Well, let's say that this is not hyperventilation.
Yep.
This is superventilation, which is different.
Yeah.
And I like this term. Superventilation has been created by a professor from Stanford University that I had the chance and the honor to talk to. And he said, this is not hyperventilation, it's superventilation. So it's not, and that can be very exhausting.
Yeah.
It's different. There is still energy, but it's not that frantic. No? And some people, they feel very relaxed. Some others, they might feel very energetic at the end of the practice. What they all have in common is this tingling and numbness.
What are the benefits of doing this?
Well, there is an intense emotional release, and then there is the production of endorphins, serotonin, just to name a few. So the whole system will be, in a way, it's just like changing.
I can't wait to try it.
Yes,
because
please.
I mean, I'm on my really high ketone level. Last time we checked, I was on 6.0, which is absolutely, hitting the top.
Yeah.
I've got so much beautiful endorphins running through this.
Yeah.
Full cell rejuvenation on an incredible level. And what I'm hoping to do in my 10-day fast is to multiply the effects of compounding all of these things simultaneously.
Yeah.
Right. So just being in a certain state gives me this. But 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. When we do 1 + 1 + 1, we can multiply the effects of these things. So being in certain states. So I think breathing for me is just going to take me to the stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't wait.
Yeah. Just because, and the reason why, sorry, I'm asking, I ask the people to keep their mouth open is that we do not breathe enough during the day because of many stresses, traumas, maybe traumas that we've been carrying with us, burdens that we've been carrying on, tensions. That one of the main intuitions of Leonard Orr was that the stresses and strains and traumas of our ordinary daily life in the process of living and working, they have the tendency to inhibit our natural breathing capacity. Like this, or we breathe in a very shallow way. There is a direct connection between the way we breathe and our emotional states. And I invite the people to think about, and I invite you to think about the last time when you were stressed or angry or sad. How was your breath?
I have a confession. Every time I am, or I kind of breathe myself down. I know I use it. Even if I want to relax more at night, I use breath quite a bit for that, but not on any advanced level, to be honest. And even though I've learned to meditate for many years, and we did for many years, I don't do it often.
Okay.
Not even going into that direct, I'm going to, but I already know that just the breath, bringing it down, the first 20 seconds, the first 2 different little routines that I do, incredible effects every time.
And I'm very well aware that I'm talking to a person that has an advanced practice, so you know exactly how to counteract those stresses.
Well, I think I think what I am is I'm intuitive. I listen to myself. So if I feel it, then I go, what tool can I implement here?
Yeah.
Whether the tool is advanced, I wouldn't say I'm too advanced, but I think I self-diagnose a lot and say, okay, what can I do now to correct? And the breath is unreal. Yeah. I mean, I think by the time I'm on my 6th or 7th breath, and I'm just talking about, hold it for a little bit and breathe out. And sometimes I do it. Sometimes I'm too excited. I can't even hold it, but I let that go, and then I try for the next one. I don't force it. It's very relaxed. But like I said, by the 6th or 8th breath already, I've gone from here to here.
Let's say that generally speaking, let's say that generally speaking, when we are in a state of anger or sadness or worry, we have the tendency, unconsciously, to take very shallow, like very short breaths. Yeah. Our breath can be very shallow, very fast. And on the other hand, when we are relaxed, at ease, in a peaceful state, like for example, during a massage, our breath
We're trying to physically calm down,
It's very long.
Nobody sits there and starts to think of their problem.
And relax. So there is a direct connection between our emotional states and the way we breathe. Yeah. In a breathing session, we learn how to move from this to another kind of breathing, so the emotional release can be very intense. Some people, maybe they feel the need to cry. Yeah. And maybe the mind is saying, why do I feel this? And then there is the self-defense, holding the breath. Or maybe other people, they feel they want to laugh. I've had sessions with laughing, like people in tears, like hysterics. Yeah. And then in the end, there was this intense rush of good neurotransmitters, neuropeptides. So good, sorry, maybe good is not the right word, more functional. Yeah. More functional, like helpful. it's a good way to let go of anger, suppressed traumas, and dysfunctional states.
I mean, it benefits everything. You're pretty much saying.
Yeah.
And you're teaching people. I think the important step is for people to remember, because we all have techniques for everything, right?
Yeah.
If we all go back, I mean, this is ringing a lot of bells with everybody that's watching, but we don't remember to stop that moment. It takes someone else to say, "Hey, take a breath."
Yeah.
You'll be the first to tell someone else, but you don't do it yourself because we're in that heightened state. But I think the more we focus on it, the more maybe we should bring it to be part of our daily life, so that it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Is this a good technique to let it also become more efficient or more readily available when people need it? Because when we're under stress, we don't think, we're not thinking.
We
but
go
that's
on
what we need it the
automatic.
most. But if it's a habit, then I think we need to build the habit.
Yeah, we go on this automatic self-preservation state, which is danger. I need to save myself.
Yeah.
To put myself safe.
And some people are also under stress without knowing why. And then they don't even realize that they are under stress either.
Yeah.
And this is dangerous because you can carry that around for weeks, for months, for years.
I like to say, because breathwork always starts as a physical experience, because people, they can experience all this. Maybe the description is an intense, like sort of a electromagnetic, an electricity, vibration. There was a guy who said, "I thought I was levitating."
Yeah.
And I said, "I didn't see that, but maybe there was a different state." And it starts as a physical experience, and then it ends up as a spiritual experience. As I said, whatever the word spiritual means to you. I like to think of breathwork as a practice with which we can reconnect ourselves with our original state of perfection.
Yeah.
We can let go of what we no longer need, because it's the process. Oxygen in, which is what we need and what we deserve.
Yeah.
And carbon dioxide out, which is what we no longer need. And toxins.
And what kind of toxins? So what are we talking about here? How cleansing is it really? Should people be worried about toxicity? Is it?
Yeah.
They don't though, do they? I mean, I don't. Well, people think that they'll go crazy all year, and then once a year or after Christmas, I'm going to go and have a juice.
Which is a good
holiday,
start.
It's good, but it's not enough.
It's not enough if it's just that.
Yeah.
Then in a detox center, in a place where they learn more functional capacities and information, then they can keep doing this.
But that's the amazing thing about this particular center is that, I mean, I told some friends I'm going on a water fast in Thailand. They're like, "Why don't you stay at home now?" Because they knew that I already did it anyway. Save yourself some money. I'm like, "Well, you going for the sun?" The truth is, I knew there were going to be some other experiences and treatments and things that I was going to learn, and some different monitoring. Actually, it wasn't even sure too much.
Yeah.
I was astounded at the level of which, if I want to, or even if I can't avoid, but that I'm introduced to so many treatments, techniques, philosophies that can help me go so much further beyond than what the water fast itself will do. The water fast itself is incredible. I've never done this many days, and I actually feel like I wish I could go on and do a lot more. But it's my first time in Thailand, and I actually want to have at least one meal. So we're cutting it so that we do 10 days, and we have some melon. We have to come up with that. And then we have like a lunch and a dinner, and then we're on the plane because we just wanted to try some of the keto dishes
Very
here.
Very good food, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So otherwise I would have actually fasted till I got home, and possibly for a few days more. To be honest, because I feel I want to keep this state. Luckily, I mean, it's a ketogenic state. Yeah, it's much more comfortable.
Also comfortable.
I move around a lot. It's fantastic, but this center is really unique in that way from what I'm seeing. I mean, the oncology, what they're doing with the cancer patients is just on another planet.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing. You're working with some of these cancer patients,
I work with some of them with breathing sessions.
And they're coming in with a lot of stress. You've been diagnosed with cancer. Can anyone imagine what that they're not even breathing when they come here.
Well,
Like,
that was an
hello.
intense shock for
Right.
me when I was told that. And
You didn't breathe for
oh
weeks.
no!
You know?
Well,
See, you
it
can't
was like
breathe. You can hold your breath, right?
yeah, and
I can imagine.
thanks to the breathwork and of course many other practices that I did, I decided to in a way to discover or to like alternatives therapies, and what they all have in common, and the breathwork as well, and what they do here is in a way to bring you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Which is like, as your friends asked you, why don't you do this at home?
Yeah.
Which is the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And which is good. And then we can learn something new when we do something different.
Well,
this is what I do.
We need to take these things back home anyway.
Yes.
So I'm going to water fast 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That's how I do. I go 1 day eat, 36 hours not. So I will be taking it home, but I've been doing it for a while. So has Jasmine. Yeah. Having said that, these techniques that we're learning, we're learning to believe. I think, right? I mean, when you discovered did you think about it before? Oh my God, I've got cancer. Someone says do breath. You go, oh yeah, I knew. You didn't know, right? So
no.
Yeah,
it took me completely like this, and I have to tell you that the first session was really revolutionary because
So you went in skeptical, but said, hey,
skeptical.
What have I got to lose?
No, actually, my attitude was not skeptical. No, but I thought it was my attitude, because I've never been a very patient person.
Yeah.
So my attitude was, okay, I will go there and breathe. Thanks, I know how to do that.
Are you happy now?
Yeah, happy now. I do that. Like I've been breathing since I was born.
Yeah.
So what's the,
What are you teaching me?
What's the the shebang in there?
Yeah.
And then I was like, what?
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
And it's instant.
Yes.
I think that's the best part. So we want to lose weight. We want to treat something like, any kind of disease.
Yeah.
Because we got to think of stress as a disease we can cure, actually. But imagine you get instant reward. Within a couple of minutes, you're feeling the benefits. There's nothing else that we can do that can do that.
Besides feeling very good at a physical level.
Yeah.
And that is my experience. Yeah. And I have a lot of people that've been reading with me that can share the same experience. So there was a very good feeling in our physical state. Yeah. Like we feel, oh, what's that? What fascinated me, what really rocked my world, was the emotional state. I went to a place, and I know it might sound like this. I reached a place that.
It's good that okay.
Yeah.
Do I want to be emotional?
Like, what's this?
Yeah.
And I cried a lot. I have to say that I realized that
I can see you remembering it.
Yeah. I realized that there was a lot in me.
Yeah.
That I've been carrying around, and it was absolutely unnecessary. And so I started this process because I remembered a friend of mine saying, "It's just a thought."
Great. These are nuggets. These are golden.
It's just a thought.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Let it be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I cried. Everything. Like, I'm really in that state now. I can remember. Really have goosebumps.
Yeah, I can see it.
I am in there now.
Yeah, you're gone there.
And that wasn't me. That was my soul.
Yeah.
Finally, you know?
Thank
you. After that experience, which was intense, I felt absolutely in bliss. I was in bliss.
How long was the session? Tell me a little bit. Where did you go?
It was 2 hours.
You went straight off the bat for a 2-hour session. Okay.
It was with friends. Like the person that was there became also my teacher and my mentor. And I was like, what did just happen? Like, I think I was like, I have to think that I felt exactly as Leonard Orr felt. Like, what is this? Really? And it was
in the first time. So in the one first session, time. And that was
in the first time. And I still have her voice in my ear saying, It's just a thought. And she said something else that was absolutely mind-blowing. It can be easy.
It can be easy, yeah.
Which had nothing to do with the breath, had to do a lot with my beliefs. She said it can be easy. It is easy. And I realized that since that moment, I thought that my life wasn't easy. And that was hard.
Yeah.
I had to fight hard.
The powerful word there is can.
Yes, exactly. The power of words. Words can be extremely powerful. Words can create, a word can create a universe. A word can destroy a universe. So yeah, that's why in my sessions I also, not always, but I can whisper words, and I warn the people because I said maybe you will hear me breathing with you. I'm not panting at your ears. Sounds very weird.
Yeah.
But I'm breathing with you just to remind you how to breathe. And then maybe you will hear me whispering words that might support you in creating your universe. The universe that you like. Yeah. That bubble that can be with you. And it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Language is the most powerful tool. So that's another tool that I learned through Hapkido, through Master Fariborz in LA. He really brought me into the whole power of talking to myself into whatever I want to achieve.
Yes.
But also letting me know that it's now. Like a paradigm shift happens now. You don't have to. We're not talking about going to the gym for 3 years and see if you get some. It's not that hard. It's right now when you change your mind, everything changes. So you went into this breathing session immediately. Bam! You've got to change. Yeah. And once you realize these words that you've learned, that you've carried them forever, and I've got some of those as well. You can't go back because the door opened.
Yes,
right?
exactly. You
can't unsee it. Everyone else doesn't see it, and it's very hard to convince them sometimes. You're talking yourself into this problem. Yeah. You're not believing that you can, so of course you won't be able to achieve it right now. Yeah. But combining these things with incredible, I mean, I cannot wait to do this breath session.
Well, there is, like, for example, thanks to Eckhart Tolle with The Power of Now,
of course,
and other esteemed teachers, when we breathe, in that moment, we are here.
Yeah.
It's the power of now, like to use these words, because the mind is not swimming in the pond of the past, and it's not in the pond of the future
wasting
yet.
Time, creating.
It's here, and this here now, it's mindfulness, and it's the only moment of power that we have. We cannot change the past. We can change our perception. We can make decisions of what to let go and what to keep. And we can plan the future with the actions that we do now, with the decisions that we make now. So the breath has also the power, our breath has the power to make us living in the now. Breathing into being, into here.
I mean, I think all meditation is about coming into,
yes,
100%.
What's happening now? How do I feel now?
I don't know. I can't remember right now when the last time was that I said, actually, no, I did a couple of nights ago. I was a little bit stressed about something, and I went, okay, just forget what I've got to do, all these tasks that I've got, because I'm juggling so many Chinese plates at the moment. But I said, okay, just relax for a second, bring it here. But it's weeks in between when I say, just bring myself into now, the power of now, like you said, and the breath. What should we be doing every week? So let's say, for example, we come in, can I learn this 2-hour session? Does this mean I have to breathe like this for 2 hours every day? Because I don't have the time for that. I mean, I do have the time for it, actually. I could make it.
Well, if you want.
We all do, yeah.
If you want, of
course,
you can do it.
Do I need to?
Well, learning a new breathing technique.
Because this is going to scare people off. Yeah, you got to start breathing like this for 2 hours. No?
Learning a new breathing technique that can support us in reaching higher states of wellness and well-being, it's always helpful. My suggestion, what I recommend, is like to learn this practice in the beginning, because this practice can be very not challenging, but can create very deep emotional states. And so maybe the people can be scared, or I don't want to do that. Yeah. So my suggestion is find a practitioner that can help you, support you. If you don't like the word help, support you in doing this practice, the 2 hours, at least for 4 or 5 times.
Right.
So you will learn the practice.
Yes.
You will become friend and acquainted with your emotional states. So after 4 or 5 sessions, you will be skilled enough and familiar enough to do it alone
confident that you
without
get good results.
getting scared.
Yeah, okay.
Like what's happening to me. What a person can do every day is a shorter version of this practice, which is just 6 minutes long.
6 minutes.
And we all have 6 minutes.
Can we do it before bed or should we do it before
We
we
can
wake
do
up? Or
my
after not before we wake up.
We can do both. Like we wake up in the morning.
It would be amazing if I taught myself to do it. Can I tell you, I'm a photographer, I'm creative. Whenever I go to bed, I can go to bed thinking about the fact that I'm going to solve some of my problems in my sleep, and I will.
Yeah.
When I wake up, the whole schedule is done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, write down the whole treatment, everything.
Yeah.
If I could teach myself to breathe in my sleep, and stretch and all these things. But so you're saying potentially we can do this best as soon as we wake up, or do we have our breakfast
we
first?
can do it both. We can do it both, like as soon as we wake up, or before going to sleep, or in the middle of the day. Whenever we have 6 minutes, like sometimes I do this.
Are we in any crazy positions? Am I in a pretzel? Am I
in the pretzel position?
Am I lying down?
Or maybe like if you want and you're still in bed, you can lie down.
Yes.
Or in a chair with your
because
spine
often people
straight.
are told not to meditate or do some of these things lying down because there's a fear they'll fall asleep. I mean, I've never fallen asleep.
I recommend this, and sometimes I do this breathing exercise before falling asleep.
Okay.
I've been experiencing, because recently I have so many, let's say, things to do, so many plates to take care, that it's very difficult for me to fall asleep. Yeah. I've been noticing this.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I know what to do. This breathing technique for 6 minutes, and whoop, very nice. Yeah. But I do this, for example, when I'm at the airport, waiting for my flight. 6 minutes.
Are your eyes closed?
With my eyes
Sorry
closed.
to go into so much, because I'm just trying to
with my eyes closed, with my mouth open. So that's why I try to find
a quiet place.
A quiet place. So I won't have people looking at me like panting like that.
They'll call doctors. Yeah.
There's a weird lady doing this, and I do this for 6 minutes, like. I can start doing it now. For 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And perfect. And it's very relaxing.
You know, it's your eyes just like I can see it. Yeah. You're everything is exploded.
Sometimes, because with 6 minutes, we don't have to count. It takes us like 100 breaths.
You count the breaths?
Nope. No. Otherwise, the mind will be.
Okay, focusing on that. We want to focus on the breath.
And I will be distracted. So what I do is either I set the timer in my phone. Yeah. Or I I listen to music.
Oh, okay.
6 minutes.
A certain type of music, or do you like The Weeknd?
I prefer just music, no lyrics. Yes. Otherwise, my mind will be, I love this song.
Yeah, and also the words are very powerful, like you said. Yeah. I learned that. Yeah.
I do this sometimes with mantras. Yeah. My favorite is Gayatri Mantra, the mantra of light. But usually I use music without lyrics. Yeah. And it's 6 minutes. So I use an app. I don't know if I can mention it.
Why not?
Spotify.
Yeah.
They don't pay me.
You're not paying me either.
They don't pay me. I'm not paying.
I might cut that out.
But I like it because there's a lot of music available.
It's amazing.
And I find the kind of music that I like. And it's a practice. It's a daily practice. If we don't want to get involved in the 2 hours, which of course cannot be done in the airport lounge, that is very effective. Really effective.
And I've got a couple to expand a little bit. Sorry, because I do mindfulness walking meditations often, especially because I have the forest across the road, and sometimes I will do it. And what we're doing in that state is we're walking, but I'm feeling everything. I'm starting to hear what's 6 minutes, etc. When I'm breathing, am I mindful of what's going on? Am I connected to that? Or am I coming in and focusing on the breath? Where are we going? Because a lot of the people that are going to listen to this obviously also have learned various breathing and meditation techniques.
Yes.
But this one, I'm curious to see how it.
Let's say that this one makes us more aware of what's happening inside.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I recommend to keep our eyes closed, so we can. This is a very poetic definition that I've heard. Close your eyes so you can see your inner light, and I like that very much.
Yeah.
My friend, I don't know if I can mention his name.
You can mention anything.
My friend Nicola, the teacher Nicola from Italy, he mentioned that once, and I said, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah.
Because our attention can be on many things, but very rarely on us. And so I suggest
look inside.
Yeah, look inside, and this practice can make us very aware of what's happening inside, both on the physical and on the emotional side. Our thoughts, our memories, So we go back to our original perfection, original innocence. I like that.
Fantastic.
I like that very much.
So let's go. So this is, what was the name of this technique again exactly?
Rebirthing
breathwork. Rebirthing breathwork, and this is by Leonard Orr, and he self-realized this.
Yes,
he experimenting
this happened.
Something.
The first breathing,
Who knows what he was doing?
The first rebirthing session happened in San Francisco.
Yeah.
In the mid-60s.
Yeah.
That was an era of, that was the beginning of the New Age. But the real New Age.
Yeah.
Not those.
Opening the mind.
Opening the mind. A lot of people involved in the movement for human potential.
Yeah.
Experimenting. Visionaries, philosophers, scientists. People they wanted to want to explore the excellence in humans.
And isn't it? It's a shame that it came from crisis. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And Leonard, besides being the father, well, he is not alone. He was, because he passed away sadly a few months ago. There is also Bob Mandel and Sondra Ray. They were all involved in the same movement, but the first one was Leonard. And then he shared his findings with Sondra Ray and Bob Mandel and many more.
You just made me think of something interesting. You remember the music that came out of the 60s? A lot of the musicians were traveling with these people.
Yes.
People were in a very strong community. The Beatles went and met with multiple gurus all over the planet. And then that came out and manifested into their music.
Yes.
Bob Dylan, all of these beautiful songs that we remember. I mean, just thinking about that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
What a time it was when people connected and shared these ideas and then wanted to share them to the rest of the world. They had the power to. Nowadays, music is about buy this car, get this girlfriend, let's have another bottle of champagne. It's just a shame that that's what's become pop. And we need to realize that there was a lot of wisdom created then, and it was pop. It was pop.
Yes. And Leonard is also considered one of the fathers of the New Age movement, the real one. So the origin of this system, of this practice, goes back to the beginning of the liberation of consciousness. Like there was this intense desire to find out our soul, our light, our freedom, And this is something that I always share with the people that breathe with me. This practice will set you free from all conditioning, from all beliefs.
It's so important, it's not mystic, voodoo, wushu, whatever.
No, it's not a mumbo jumbo.
Really it's not a mumbo jumbo, and it's but it's so important in relation to the integrated approach that is happening here. The integrated approach that people need for self-improvement, for self-rejuvenation, for life extension. I'm here for life extension, for self-rejuvenation. I used to work in nightclubs, can you believe? For many years, and there's late nights, crazy people drinking, stress, etc., traveling all over the world, and I knew that I'm not the same as somebody that grew up in the mountain, and so my body had more. I needed to, a few years ago, realize I'm going to start to counter with diet, with lifestyle, with thought, but taking the breath will take me to an even much further, and actually more immediately realizing state where it's really powerful. I can tell straight away. I eat something, unless it's sugar, I don't really feel much effects from it immediately. It's a long-term thing, but the breath can change me right now.
Yes.
And it can help me have the power and the confidence to test and try and experience and explore, or open my mind to other things that will also help me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think the breath is important to start with.
Yeah, as you mentioned, mindfulness.
Yeah.
Breathing is a very important practice in mindfulness, because every time we take a breath, we are here.
Yeah.
In and out. We become mindful.
And then what do we do here?
Yeah.
Change to another
What am
breath.
I doing?
Now we can go into another. So we start with.
Yeah.
I mean, would you start with, or do you kind of take a few breaths first?
I would take a few breaths.
Yeah.
And then,
You center
the
yourself,
practice,
right?
Yes. It's.
So you start from a bit more of a centered clarity.
Centered clarity, and it's sort of a. I don't think, if I can say, there is a script in the session, that we start by breathing, taking a few breaths through our nose, and we start getting focused, being focused on the breath, on the music, on the sound of the breath, and then we start breathing through the mouth, and let's see where our breath will bring us. We will start navigating, I hope it's correct, in the ocean, in the vast ocean of our consciousness. And we can start realizing who we are.
I mean, this is fantastic for anyone with stress, for anyone with major projects that they're trying to juggle, because one of the things that's happening with water fast, and I got to tell you, have you seen the movie Limitless?
Yep.
Okay, I feel like I've taken a whole jug of those, a whole jar of those tablets, but without the side effect, because I'm not crashing. I'm just like, the mind is hitting it, right? So through the breath, I mean, I understand the power of what can be done when you're calm, but to take it to other levels, it's going to improve my creativity.
Yes.
It's going to improve my compassion. It's going to improve my my ability to multitask, to manage. It can't be taken for granted, but unfortunately we all do.
I have to say this. I am in the process of writing a book. I've been asked to write a book
you're not allowed to mention that. Of course you are.
In English.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a challenge for me, because I think I speak a good English, but it's not my mother tongue.
You've got an incredible grasp.
It's not my language.
No,
so and every time I feel, I stop and I breathe.
Yeah.
And my thoughts become incredibly clear.
Yeah.
So it helps with our creative thinking. It helps with I can be very chaotic sometimes.
To make connections.
Yes, it makes me being more here. So I can write down my thoughts, I can elaborate the thinking.
Stops your mind wandering.
Yes, exactly. And I feel that what I'm writing makes sense.
Yeah.
And it helps me a lot with my creative process.
Focus is the word.
Yes. Then there is another thing that I'm studying, so I am still in the process of deepening my knowledge on that. But there is also the matter of DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is a neurotransmitter that it's a sort of a brain enhancer, brain function enhancer. And there is this researcher, Dr. Rick Strassman. He wrote a book called The Spirit Molecule. And he found out that we produce DMT every time we breathe. So every breath we take, I think I should thank Sting for this. Every breath we take, thank you for this line. Every breath we take, we produce DMT, which can support and enhance our brain function, and will generate more reactions, more things happening in the system. So we will reach a higher state, a different and higher state of consciousness. It's pain. It helps with pain, dealing with pain. It helps with creative process. In a way, it's a mind opener. And in a breathing session, it's very easy to produce that, start creating this neural or this molecule, as it calls it. And it's very, very interesting.
I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, we could keep talking for days,
forever.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
This has been really quite mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's been it's so nice. I thank you so much for sharing with everybody.
Well, it's in the word itself. Sorry to interrupt. Mind-blowing. There's something.
There you go again.
It's really, yeah, you just made me thinking of that.
Yeah.
Like mind-blowing, there is something that is circulating. There's a flow.
Yeah.
There's a stream of creativity, of, yeah, good things.
Yeah, it's well, I'm going to go and have a look at the schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sign up for one of your training sessions.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
can't wait.
going to happen. I know, I don't know if I may say this afternoon at 3:30.
I think I'm free. But no,
3:30 from,
not today. I'm going to have to try another one.
but it can be another day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
today
whenever
I've got
you know
another.
that, yeah, we have an appointment, we have a meeting.
Yeah, yeah, I have a 4 o'clock, something at 4 o'clock. But thank you so much, Susanna.
Thank you so much for the
it's been
conversation. Thank you
unbelievable.
very
It's
much.
been so nice to get to know you.
Thank you. Kop kun ka, as they say here in Thailand.
Kop kun ka.
Kop kun ka. And grazie, as we
Grazie.
speak in Italy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There we are.
There we are. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very good.
How was
Yeah,
that?